I get it, you're standing in the aisle of a commercial kitchen supply catalog, scrolling through endless ice makers, and the biggest question in your mind is, will this actually work for my business or will it sit idle while I waste money? You don't want to end up with a machine that churns out a mountain of ice you can't store, or one that eats electricity faster than your budget allows. You need something that fits the rhythm of a busy service floor, not a novelty that looks good on paper. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Manitowoc Indigo NXT Series half-cube 30-inch model is built for operations that need a steady flow of dice-size ice without having to constantly unload the bin. In a typical day at a mid-size restaurant or a banquet hall, you might be serving a cocktail hour, refilling pitchers, and keeping a sushi bar chilled. With a rated output of 478 pounds per 24 hours, the machine can keep up with roughly 200+ drinks per hour, assuming a standard 2-ounce ice cube per drink. That kind of production makes it a solid candidate for places that serve a constant stream of cold beverages. Think hotel buffets, sports venues, or even a catering service that needs to prep ice for multiple events in a row. The 532-pound storage bin, which translates to about 17.9 cuft, means you can walk away for a couple of hours during a slower period without worrying that you'll run out. For a business that sells high-volume drinks, that capacity turns the ice maker into a set-and-forget piece of equipment, freeing staff to focus on guests instead of shoveling ice. If you run a small coffee shop or a family kitchen, though, this machine might feel like overkill. The half-cube footprint takes up a full 30-inch width, and the unit itself weighs close to 300 pounds, so you'll need a sturdy floor and a dedicated space near a water line and a 220V outlet. Installation isn't a weekend DIY project. Most installers will need to run a dedicated line and level the unit properly, otherwise you might see vibrations that translate into a louder operation. In practice, owners have reported that the sound level is noticeable more like a low hum than a whir, but still audible across a quiet dining room. If you're serving a boutique coffee bar with ambient music and a low-key vibe, that hum could become a distraction. On the flip side, the easy-touch multilingual touchscreen is genuinely intuitive. You can set production schedules, adjust cube size, and run diagnostics without flipping through manuals. The ability to program production means you can dial back output during off-peak hours, which saves a bit on energy and keeps the ice bin from overfilling. Maintenance is where the Indigo NXT tries to earn points. Manitowoc has baked in self-diagnostic tools that alert you to common issues like a clogged water filter or a frozen water line directly on the screen, so you don't have to guess why the output has dipped. The unit also features an acoustical ice detection system that signals when the bin is nearing full capacity, prompting you to unload before it triggers an automatic shutoff. In real-world terms, that translates to fewer emergency service calls and a smoother workflow for staff who can simply pull out the storage bin, tip it into a cooler, and press reset. The downside is that the cleaning cycle is longer than some smaller countertop models, and you'll need to schedule a thorough sanitizing routine at least once a week to avoid mineral buildup, especially if you're on hard water. The water filtration system is replaceable, but the filters aren't cheap, so factor that into your operating costs. So, who should click add to cart and who should walk away? If you run a venue where ice is a core part of the service, restaurants with large bars, hotels with banquet facilities, sports arenas, or a catering business that needs to prep for multiple events in a day, this machine hits the sweet spot between capacity and reliability. Its production numbers, sizable storage bin, and programmable controls let you match ice output to demand without constant supervision. If you're a small-scale operator, a home entertainer, or a boutique CAF that only needs a few dozen cubes per night, a countertop or smaller under-counter model will likely be more cost-effective and easier to fit into a cramped back-of-house. The Indigo NXT's strengths shine when you need that steady, high-volume supply. Its weaknesses, size, installation complexity, and a bit of noise become more noticeable when the demand isn't there. Bottom line, the Manitowoc Indigo NXT Series half-cube 30-inch ice maker is a workhorse built for places that can actually use its 478 pounds daily output and 532 pounds storage capacity. It's not a universal fit, but for the right kind of operation it eliminates the guesswork of ice supply, reduces staff interruptions, and keeps the service flow moving. If that matches your needs, give it a look and see if the numbers line up with your peak service windows. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon.